Texans got smacked all over the place. All over the place. In Minnesota. Oh, man. We're going to dig deep. We're going to go into the scoreboard. But NFL this week has been, wasn't short of amazing. I will say that. So we're going to start with the Texans real quick. Self-inflicted wounds. You can't win when you beat yourself. Can't win when you beat yourself. There may be 2 or 3 factors in that game. Obviously, the penalties. You can't get anything done when you have multiple penalties back to back to back and throughout the game. And then on top of that, you allow their best player to get off and to get a rhythm early and often. Justin Jefferson. Now, I don't know what the game plan was going into that game, but I'll tell you one thing. Justin Jefferson should have been on high alert, and maybe he was on high alert, but attention to detail wasn't there on the defensive side for the Texans. You can't allow Minnesota to get a rhythm, get hot, get going with their best player early in the game. Can't do it. So in this game, the Texans started off without even their feet on the ground. Before they said take off, go, the game was already getting crazy, getting out of hand. They had to play uphill, which they played uphill the whole game. Never got a rhythm on offense. Now all these penalties, I don't know where they're coming from. Last week, they got to clean that up. But the Texans never got off the ground. They got hit in the mouth, and they've been staggering the whole game. Big plays was eliminated by the Minnesota's defense. We got to give them credit. Minnesota got some outstanding defense, okay? They kept pressure on C.J. Stroud. That was another thing. Number 1, penalties. Often throughout the game, penalties. 2, not paying attention to detail on other superstars that's sitting across from you. Justin Jefferson, paying attention to detail. This guy should have never got loose as much as he has throughout this game. He is their best player. You allowed him to get off. Great players get their team going. Big catches, big runs, scoring touchdowns. Justin Jefferson is arguably, if not, the best wide receiver in the game. And you got him running free, picking up chunk plays, running for touchdowns. Assignments were blown, and you put yourself in a disadvantage. Cannot do that. Cannot do it. Number 3, where was the protection for C.J. Stroud? Now, we're going to credit the back end secondary of Minnesota's defense. We don't want to discredit them. It's probably a reason why he was holding the ball a little longer than he should. He couldn't find people open. Man, we got 3, 4, 5 weapons. It's hard to believe. But C.J. Stroud was pressured throughout the whole game. They put him on the ground. They rattled him. They ran schemes. They changed up some things on defense, surprised him a little bit. And there you have it. They weren't going to go undefeated the whole season. They just ended up meeting their match. They get an opportunity to play them again. Maybe it'll be different. But Minnesota Vikings at home, they look like they're a hell of a team this year. Quarterback, a guy that got ran out of New York, thought that he was going to be their franchise quarterback. They had to get rid of him. Inconsistency. He's in Minnesota right now looking like Joe Namath. Hey, man, I don't know what you're doing drunk, but it's working. It's working. So that's plain and simple for the Houston Texans. Everybody saw the game, or if you just look at the matter of fact, I want to pull something up just before we get off these Texans. Key things to this game. So take a look at that. We're going to look at 3 categories, key categories on this stat sheet. This is actually the team stats. But I want to take a look at 3 things. Number 1, look at the rushing. 38 rushing yards to 118 to the Vikings. No running game whatsoever. Can't run the ball, you won't win ball games. Throw 11 penalties on top of that. And no attention to detail on the defensive side of the ball. Equals a loss. 38 to 118. We're going to take a look at something else. Penalties. 11 flags for 88 yards. To 5 flags to 30 yards to the Vikings. Do that look like a discrepancy there? Too many flags. So when you're just about to get something going, you're going back. Erased. Every time you make a good play, you're moving back. Another one is turnovers. 2 turnovers to Minnesota's what? 0. There it is, folks. It's plain and simple. This is how you lose ball games. Texans wasn't sharp at all throughout this game. They hurt themselves, and some things that Minnesota did. Changed some things up, made it interesting, made it challenging for them on offense. But when you turn the football over, you can't run the ball. You got penalties all over the place. Simple. It's very simple. And that's what happened to the Houston Texans. Plain and simple. So we're going to move along. It's a Sunday night game that I want to get to. I've been dying to get to. I have no idea what the Atlanta Falcons were thinking. I was beside myself last night. And I'm not going for either team. I just want to watch a good football game. But if you're an Atlanta Falcons fan and you watch that last play, 4th and inches, are these guys out of their minds or what? You run a wraparound sweep on 4th and inches to Bijan Robinson, get it stuffed, game over. Number one, you ever heard of a quarterback sneak? And if you think Cousins is old and decrepit and they can't run no quarterback sneak, which I don't care who it is. Inches. Get in a power lead play. How about that? Slam Bijan Robinson down the line of scrimmage. Straight line drive if you want to run the ball and hand it off. But you actually going to want to run a wraparound sweep and think that you're going to pick that up. Sometimes I don't know what these teams be thinking, man. They deserve to lose that game off of stupidity. 4th and inches. The game was there for the Falcons to win. And this is what I talk about, how Kansas City Chiefs always getting off the snide, how they end up getting some luck. It's behind stuff like this. Teams is like they're losing oxygen in their brain as the time winds down and it gets to the 4th quarter. Whoever called that play, offensive coordinator, whoever called that play, they're out of their minds. Out of their minds. You don't go horizontal on a play like that. You go vertical. Inches, 4th and inches. And they're surprised he didn't pick that up. I got to calm down. I'm flaring up. But that play right there, oh my goodness, man. They don't want to win. Still got 2 games left for Monday night. For Monday night, what you got? Jaguars and Bills. Commanders and Bengals. got a doubleheader for Monday Night Football. It might can patch it up a little bit, but even if I get both of those games, not going to be good. I don't think I'm getting 500 this week. I don't. It's bad. I don't think I'm getting 500 this week. Let's go through this scoreboard. We got the Jets beat the Patriots 24-3. Jets at home got the Patriots 24-3. Eagles and Saints 15-12. Nobody would ever guess that score would have been 15-12. You expect a high scoring game from both of these teams. Eagles are very lucky in this game. They got multiple opportunities from these Saints. It was a back and forth game. At one point, nobody could score. They just kept punting the ball off to each other. 3 and outs. Lucky the Eagles were able to muster up something to get that last lead and was able to keep it. But Alvin Kamara, man, whew, that dude is a beast. He is a beast. You had to put pressure on Carr. We all know about the cars. You have to put the pressure on the car. If you can't apply pressure to make that airbag come out, they're going to drive that car right down the highway. So Derek Carr, David Carr, you have to apply pressure. Once you make the airbag come out, you're going to win the game. That's when mistakes going to happen. They're going to crash. They're going to burn. So the Eagles was able to do that, sustain, and win this game. Win the game. Jalen Hurts, for Jalen Hurts, I'm still up and down on him right now. I still don't like the way he holds on to the ball. That's going to cost him in big games. It's costing him now early in this season. He has to get rid of the football. That's going to be an issue. Now, Fangio on this defense. That's one way to get back from the previous week. You held the Saints to 12 points. You got them to turn over the football. We'll give you an A+ this week. We'll see if you can continue this. Because as far as Derek Carr, yeah, he's an alright quarterback. I'm not going to make him all world. But when you start going up against these Josh Allens, Burrows, you know what I mean? Of course, Mahomes. What's your defense going to do then when it matters the most? That's when I want to see it. So Eagles got off the snide, got the win. Blessing for that because it was a pressure-packed game. They had to get it, and they got it. So they pulled that one out 15-12. Fangio lives on to the next week. Broncos and Buccaneers. Broncos got the Buccaneers 26-7. That one shocked me a little bit. I expected the Buccaneers to pull that out at home against the Broncos. Didn't happen. Hey, 26-7. Bears and Colts. Colts at home, 21-16 against the Bears. That one didn't go my way either. It came down to the last inning. I think Caleb Williams. They got that last touchdown, and all they had to do was play some defense. Try to stop them. Couldn't do that. Colts was able to close out the game, 21-16. But, you know, Colts look like they're moving on, man. They're trying to get a little something going here in the Texans division. Right. Dolphins and Seahawks. Seahawks got the Dolphins 24-3. I don't know what's going on in Miami, but all of a sudden now they can't score points.
Oh, that's not good.
Something is going on in Miami. Tua, maybe it meant that much. But the Seahawks, Look like they don't need Pete Carroll. You know what I mean? That's what I'm looking at. They are rolling. Don't look half bad. 49ers and Rams. Did y'all watch that game? Did y'all see the highlights of that game? 49ers had that game in the bag. They had the game in the bag. Brock Purdy running around smiling, laughing, thinking this thing is over. Oh no. Depleted Rams. Gutted it out, found a way on a McVay, and pulled this game out and delivered a shocker. At home. Everybody thought this game was pretty much done. Nah. 49ers left a little crack open. Rams slid in. There it is. 27-24. Game-winning field goal. Ravens and Cowboys. Ravens dropped the Cowboys 28-25. Last moments of that game got interesting. Cowboys found a little momentum. They tried to make them a miraculous comeback. Ran out of steam. Ravens pulled it out. Cowboys got some issues going on. They have some serious issues. CeeDee Lamb. I like CeeDee Lamb. I like him even more after watching this game. Because once they started getting CeeDee Lamb the ball, more things started to happen. CeeDee Lamb was frustrated throughout that game. He's wondering why he's not getting the ball. Give him the ball. He pulled an A.J. Brown on him. And rightfully so. He's the big money man. You just paid him. He's the best player pretty much on your team. Why aren't you getting him the ball? Great things happen when you get him the ball. So I liked him voicing his opinion, his displeasure on the sideline. They heard him. They started getting him the ball. Next thing you know, things are changing around. Cowboys got a shot. Their defense is starting to make plays. They just ran out of steam. They should have started the game the way they ended the game. So there you have it. 28-25, ran out of steam. A lot of talk about the Cowboys now. Is this season going to go down in the dumps? Or are they going to be able to salvage it?